Now, Sidhu driving the net, backhand to forehand. Here's an opportunity for her teammate, who I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to guess that that's Depchuk. Though sometimes the way these jerseys are aligned, I'm never going to have a chance. 6:01 to go here in the second. If you haven't heard, it is a 1-1 game. We broadcast this girls 19 AAA matchup between the Colorado Lady Rough Riders and the Surrey Falcons. Both teams scoreless so far here in the second period. The opportunities have been plentiful, however, as this puck winds its way behind the net. Melissa Linville was there for a moment. She tries to play it back down low for her teammate Raja Gopal. But Surrey breaks the zone, and back they come. It's Lauren Amos Shappert who had the puck for just a moment. She lost it. Will she get it back? Momentarily, until the Rough Riders hop on top of it, and they try to gain the Falcon zone. They do quite easily, in fact. Knott has the puck. Knott no longer with the puck. Can't wait till I can use some tied up in Knott's joke, or she made such a good play, she should be sent to Fort Knox. And no, she's not. She's just not. There's no X in her name. Here's an opportunity. That shot, either a blocker save made and some rebounds trying to be forced into the back of the net by Britlin Drayson. Drayson unable to do so, as Newberry was able to stand strong in net. And we're now under 5 minutes to go in this tied-up matchup between these two 19 AAA divisional teams. Our referees for this contest, Robert Hazelwood and Danielle Kozlowski. They've been pretty much on top of it the whole time. And always a tip of the cap to referees for hockey. I mean, how they're able to do their job with pucks flying around, sticks flying around, bodies flying around, and then watching everybody at the same time, all on two thin strips of metal. And they don't get to sit down. No breaks for them. Really impressive. That puck hit somebody in the head, as the shot from the blue line from Casey Knowles was headed towards the net. So someone's noggin got in the way. There's a soft shot. Some deflections in front means that it was trickling around the low slot. And now breaking out of it is Telegani. Telegani has one to beat, but the defense there by Sadie Stoppler was real good, as the two captains went head-to-head for a moment. Stoppler has it. She'll push it forward. And moving across with the puck is Shona Ball. Oh, pardon me, that's not Ball. I think that's Stoppler. And sorry, that was Younger who was doing the defensive work, as Younger, the assistant captain, plays the defense. We got an icing call with 3:39 to go.
This period's been a lot more even over the past 5-6 minutes. The defenses of both teams have been shutting down the passing lanes, getting in the way, creating havoc.
And in the first minute or so, it looked like all the pressure was coming from the Lady Rough Riders, and then in the next minute here in the second period, the pressure all seemed to come from the Surrey Falcons. And so outside of the interference penalty that Tessa Younger committed, it has been just an up and down, back and forth second period. A couple of stoppages in play for icing and some pucks frozen by the netminders, but other than that, and the penalty, it's been incredibly clean, as that puck was almost headed for the Surrey side of things. And this one will be dumped deep inside of the Colorado zone. They're the first ones to the pucks, though, and they can't clear it out, however. Some nice work at the blue line by one of the Surrey players. I want to guess that's Depchuk, but at the same time, could also be Stoppler. I got to read those numbers on their side of their arms, which is difficult to do. I'm going to say that's Dupchuk out there. As coming after this one is Sindhu. She's got an open teammate. That's Amos Shappert. And Shappert pushes it in. Will she be able to get to that puck first before it crosses the end line? The answer is no. And so we'll bring this puck all the way back across ice. We got 2:16 to go here. Could take this moment to thank our partner, Time to Score Incorporated. They provide the data necessary to power the dynamic scoreboard module displayed at the top of your screen. TTS system can be easily integrated at any facility. Visit no, just 3 W's, .timescore.com for more information. Falcons will get it deep inside of Colorado's zone. Well, that's only because the Rough Riders have possession. Lady Rough Riders, that is, have possession of the puck. And getting a rough ride there was the captain, Telegani, from Younger. Younger's been doing a fine job as coming into the zone is Knowles. Knowles is shot easily held on to by Newberry. And we've got just under a minute 45 remaining here in the second period. I don't know what's going on behind me. I've turned this knob like 7 times. I'm waiting for the heat to kick back in.
Yeah, it's not working today. I mean, there's a knob on the other end of the ice, of the stands over here, but
we'll have to go try to convince someone to go over there and do the work for us.
I don't know if that knob will power the whole thing, but either way, it's a little bit more frigid here in the stands than what we're used to on this rink.
That's right, as the shot comes towards net, and Newberry had it in her glove for a moment, but then kind of let it fall out in front of her. There weren't any Surrey Falcon players there to provide a challenge, so it didn't seem too poor of a decision. Shannon Bow and Younger go after that puck, but unfortunately for them, it's the Rough Riders who wind up with it. A lot of hard work coming from Raja Gopal, as she's mixing it up. Under a minute to play now, as it's Younger with the puck. Younger holds it behind her own net, then threw it over the net. Oddly enough, it worked out. I guess that's how you draw it up. Pirya Sidhu tried to get it inside of the zone. She encountered a little bit of resistance. And Sidhu now tries to make a play on the puck as it was brought past the blue line. Made a nice check, got possession, and tried to reset with her defense. As now that's Sandhu out there on the ice. You got Sindhu and Sandhu. Sindhu to Sandhu. Here comes an opportunity. Backhand, forehand, and weaving herself out of there is Pirya Sandhu. And losing possession of the puck altogether.
Looked like that puck just got up on edge as she was ready to make her move to goal.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 5 seconds to go here. Can Telegani get anything done? She's trying to wrap herself from around the side of the back of the net to the side of the net, but she was unable to do so as a couple of Surrey Falcons came to attack. I feel that heat returning, and you know what happens when the heat returns? We like to take this opportunity to thank Bay Area Hockey Repair for their support of our broadcast, located at 1535 South 10th Street in San Jose, California. Bay Area Hockey Repair is your one-stop shop for hockey gear repairs, consignment, or rentals. They handle equipment mailed in from around the world and offer over 1,000 different types of repair services to cure evenly worse levels of gear decimation. They do skate sharpening too. Hope you heard. Visit www.bayareahockeyrepair.com for more information. Of course, Brian and I would like to thank you for watching the 14th annual Girls and Women's MLK Tournament on Black Dog Enterprises. We're proud to be a growing leader in West Coast coverage of youth, high school, and collegiate, and junior hockey. All of our live broadcasts are available on DVD and on demand, so visit www.blackdogenterprises.com for more information. It was a scoreless second period. There's the buzzer to indicate that our intermission is all over. So really not much we can infer from this, and you doing a great job, Brian, getting that heat to return. So obviously the rink is going to have to start paying some salary for you too, or maybe the fans.
Yeah, they might have just disabled that switch, but that one over there works.
Oh, good. Yeah, this switch has been pretty funky. Might have been just overused and it's broken. So I'm glad you got to the other switch and got this this heater working. As my grandfather would say, don't applaud, throw money. So hopefully the fans around you will do that. Of course, we'd like to thank all y'all for tuning in, as even though the horn sounded and whistles were blown, nobody wants to take the ice. Of course, they all love to play. I don't mean they don't want to take the ice right now. They just don't. I don't know. Either way, the Falcons finish up with their motivator, which they have done before each of these 3 periods. Again, scores 1-1. Goals coming from Paige Ashbell, 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the contest. Then just about 2 minutes and 15 seconds later, the response would come from Tessa Younger. She got an assist from Emily Duchak, and those 2 assistant captains did a nice job for their team. Well, now the Surrey Falcons, who are dressed in white with red and black trim, are moving from left to right, and the Colorado Lady Rough Riders, who are in black with some white and gray trim, move from right to left. A little bit of green as well for the Rough Riders, which may be a, well, what's past the tertiary color? A quaternary color?
I'm not sure if there is one, actually. I think tertiary is as far as it goes, but then again, I'm not an art major.
Yeah, neither am I. The only art I enjoy is the wonderful play of hockey on the ice. Because when it looks good, oh man, it is a painting, just a fine work of art. A couple players falling down, and you know, when it's ugly, it's ugly. And that's the fun part about hockey. It can be both simultaneously.
Well, see, it's a matter of perspective. See, it's more abstract in those cases, right?
I'm down with the abstract artwork. Throw me some Alexander Calder, maybe some Jackson Pollock. I'm ready to go. So too are the Lady Rough Riders. They had that puck inside of their zone for the first minute or so here of the 3rd and final period, but now working it back in for Surrey is Kaylee Depchuk, Kaylee Deptuck. Did a nice job for her and her team getting a frozen puck. So there'll be a drop inside of the Lady Rough Rider zone. This one coming to the right and stick side of the netminder Newberry. Kendall Newberry doing a fine job, having stopped 16 of 17 shots she's faced. And on the other end of things, Kiana Heska doing her worth in net, stopping 18 of 19 shots. And we've just added another shot on net for the Falcons. So 17 of 18 there. And there's a dangerous puck. Somebody came back door and just totally overshot the opportunity, and a deflection that isn't able to be knocked home. A nice blue line shot from Mackenzie Dillard. And stopping the puck in front was Raja Gopal. Here's an opportunity back the other way. Nice save by Newberry as she gets on top of the puck after the rebound attempt was sent her way. So with 13:04 to go in this final period between these two 19 AAA teams, one of them has got to go home a victor. Could be the last game of the tournament for both of them.
And the other goes home with Victoria? Is that what you're
Oh,
implying?
maybe.
Oh, sorry.
I could have been. Though this is the Bay Area, maybe everybody gets a victor. Or maybe everybody gets a Victoria. Maybe you get both. Who knows? I should know. I am part of the weirdos here in the Bay. Or part of the weirdness of the Bay, rather. As the puck is brought in by the Lady Rough Riders, the first one to it, none other than the captain, Telegani. Telegani winds around till she get that puck to the blue line. A shot not too hard to find for the netminder Heska, because the shot from Berard was, only had a couple of Falcon players in the way. Shots on goal 19-19, though I'm sure that's going to change to 2019 in favor of the Rough Riders. And of course, you can catch the 2019 as well as the 2018 annual. Well, I guess that would become then the 15th and 16th annual Women and Girls Martin Luther King Tournament here on Black Dog Enterprises. I say that, but I don't have too much certainty with it. But we hope you'll stick with us as the shot from Telegani is easily corralled by Heska, straight into her mitt. And so the shots are coming pretty evenly from both teams here in the third. Obviously, getting that goal early would be beneficial to how one of these teams will be able to play the third, but for now, just kind of scrapping it together with, well, we got to score one, but we can't let the other side score one as well. Puck is finally picked up by the Falcons. Should have figured that was Younger with it. Younger with a nice cross-ice pass. There's a strong defensive move on the forecheck. Couldn't quite tell who that was done by. Opportunity out in front. Younger just couldn't get a stick on it. I have to imagine that was Drayson who was playing the strong defense. No, pardon me, that was Sidhu. Here comes the Falcons the other way. That's Linville with it. Oh, pardon me, that's the Lady Rough Riders the other way. Linville's shot goes wide, but Heska felt compelled enough to play it with her stick. And I think I can figure out the difference between Sidhu and Sandhu. At least I thought I could. But it's not height. They're both pretty similar in height. I'd be remiss to learn if their last name was Praya. Either way, we're going to have a penalty called here. This one's coming against Kornick.
Looks like it's going to be a holding the stick call, but she's arguing that it was stuck in her equipment, although
Well,
tough to tell, really.
And this is only going to be the first infraction on those Lady Rough Riders. Obviously, that's up to the discretion of the referees. So that's, I don't know. I guess you're supposed to let the opponent hurt you with their stick. Either way, it's a power play opportunity for the Surrey Falcons, and if they are able to capitalize here, boy, that would change the momentum and tenor of this game entirely. And as you so wisely stated, it was holding for the call. So 2-minute penalty here. Sitting in the box is the defensive player for the Rough Riders, Katrina Kornick. And considering she plays the blue line and is an assistant on this team, is probably a key piece of the penalty kill.
It's a critical penalty for them to have to kill, too.
But so far, so good for the Lady Rough Riders of Colorado. Let's bring that puck forward now. Is Duchik. Duchik gets it over to her teammate Deptuk. I tell you, these Falcons are doing me no favors with their names and numbers being a little too similar. Someone's got to have a talk with them. As another fine job by the Lady Rough Riders to get that puck cleared out of the zone. It looked like a wonderful job from Tessa Younger to time the re-entry of the zone, or re-entry into the zone of the Rough Riders, but she lost an edge and then lost the puck. Nice stick handling there by Sidhu. Sidhu finds an opportunity in front of the net, but has her stick lifted at the very last second. I think that work was done by Snyder, and it gets in! So with 19 seconds left on the power play, finally the Falcons are able to push one home, and they've got themselves a 2-1 lead. Yeah, the difference of this game, converting on your power play opportunities. As both teams have committed one penalty, but only one has actually scored a goal. It was Drayson who got it in. Robinson and Sidhu will pick up the assists. So nice work there by Britlin Drayson.
And one thing I've noticed is when Sidhu gets into her stride and she's up to full speed, she's very good stick handling around defenders, and that's what created that opportunity in the first place.
She's not the only one. That first goal from Tessa Younger was her weaving and winding. Here comes another opportunity, and the Falcons are trying to bust the dam down now and get it all through Newberry and these Lady Rough Riders. But as you so astutely pointed out, it's when the Surrey Falcons can kind of create some chaos by having good stick handling and movement of the puck by players inside of the Lady Rough Riders zones. They've gotten great opportunities. And obviously they've poked 2 in. 8:48 to go here in probably the final game of the tournament for these two clubs. And Telegani is not going to go down without a fight.
3-on-1 developing.
And a great cross-ice pass that just can't connect with Erickson, but the offensive zone pressure doesn't have to end now for the Rough Riders. And a tremendous combo job by the blue line, somehow keeping that puck on the Falcons side of the ice. That was amazing for the momentarily stick work there.
Fortunately, she was about a foot short of the red line before dumping that puck in.
Yeah, that's just a tough break. You know, if you got a little go-go gadget arm action there, you can make your arms just a bit longer and have that puck on the red line, and then you're totally okay.
One way to do it, or just wait an extra second before sending that puck in to dump and change. But
yeah, that makes
either way,
sense,
they win the face-off here.
And guess who's got it? It's Sidhu. Sidhu has help on her side. I think she's going to take it herself. Backhand to forehand, and Newberry doing a good job to kind of leave the goal mouth and move forward in the crease, cutting off the angle. And Pira Sidhu will just have to settle for having a secondary assist.
Yeah, it looked like she was trying to bait the goaltender into cheating over for the pass and saw the opening.
But really
but
nice.
Man, that opening closed down pretty quickly and she was able to stop it.
Yeah, nice work by Newberry to recognize what was going on, as I think she had a feeling that a pass was not forthcoming. That puck is dumped in by Ashbell. Ashbell, the lone scorer for the Colorado Lady Rough Riders. I tell you, I just want to convert that L in Colorado, and then start saying lady. And then I want to say Rough Riders all in one word too. So a couple of tongue twisters and difficulties on my end. We'll get that sorted out.
Ran into her own teammate there.
And Sidhu will have to skate off the ice gingerly, as we're under half a period to play now. And this is the final period. Well, final period in regulation, because this is the last game of the tournament for these two teams. I think somebody's going to have to come away with a win, as I think we're going to have a hand pass, so that puck will come outside of the Falcon zone. 7:06 to go. Shots in favor of the Falcons, 23-22. And what has been just really an even game. The difference is who's been able to convert on the power play. And really strong play from both sides. The netminders doing wonderful jobs themselves, not allowing too many juicy rebounds and making a freeze on the puck when they can to help their teams get a change. Nicely done by Dillard to keep that puck in. And play will now be taken away by the Falcons as they work it out of their own zone and across the neutral zone. Bringing it in was Stoppler. Haven't said too much of her name since the first period. Stoppler with a shot. Save made by Newberry. Save made by Newberry. She's on her back. And now on her side, she corrals the puck. A couple other players sitting down on the ice. And a real nice job by Newberry after being out of position to use her entire body as basically just a wall. Not even caring which extremity made the stop on the puck, just knowing she had to get herself back in position. 6:27 going here in the third and final frame of regulation. That puck wasn't exactly won by either side, but it went to a Rough Rider stick who tried to force it out. And this centering pass found Paige Robinson, who has the primary assist on the most recent goal. But Robinson couldn't do too much with the puck. And back the other way come the Falcons. A pass from Younger to Stoppler. Stoppler puts it on net. Newberry will cover it up with just under 6 to play. 2-1 lead as things are getting tighter here, as we are getting ever closer to the end of regulation. 5:58 to go. Drop here inside of the Lady Rough Rider zone. And wonderful job to control the draw and possession of the puck thereafter by the Falcons. So I think that's Sidhu there. Sidhu will get it down low to Britlin Drayson. Drayson scoring that power play goal, giving the Surrey Falcons the lead here over the Colorado Rough Riders, but the Rough Riders do not want to go down without a fight. Of course, every time they get the puck into the Surrey side of things, it's not for very long, and they're not getting too much traffic in front of nets. Sidhu again will bring that puck into the zone kind of by herself, and a penalty drawn as well for Sidhu. That's nice work by her.
A little too rough by the Rough Riders there, trying to stick the puck away from her.
And that just has to do with excellent puck control. So Alyssa Knott will have to sit on the bench for 2 minutes. That's not exactly the position the Rough Riders wanted to find themselves in, especially due to the fact that they are trailing here, and well, one more goal against should really be it.
Well, that was Sidhu again who drew that penalty. I mean, she can stop on a dime, and we've seen the lateral play. It's really difficult for a defender to defend against a player like that.
I guess you just really have to be patient and try to read and react, because taking some guesses can wind up in, well, penalties being taken. So with 1:34 left on this penalty, or penalty kill, at least in the view of the Lady Rough Riders, there's only 4:51 on the clock. And if that's the case, that means time is definitely running out. So we're going to have a whistle here. Can't tell if that was a high touch or
hooking.
It's
a high sticking penalty, it looks like.
Oh, wow. So everybody's going to have to leave this end of the ice and going into the box now for some 4-on-4 time. I think that's Kaylee Deptuk. Yep, that's right. Deptuk going to the box for a high sticking. So with 4:44 remaining, we've got 4-on-4 play.
Timeout coming.
That's right. Timeout taken by head coach Erica Spaeth of the Lady Rough Riders. Boyd Stoppler is the head coach of the Surrey Falcons. And this is a pretty good timeout. There'll be about 30 seconds of player advantage for the Colorado Lady Rough Riders. And should they be able to, well, get puck possession while the 4-on-4 is going on, they can draw up a play possibly, or draw up some ideas of plays of what to do with the puck inside of the offensive zone.
Well, one thing that I noticed too is, the timeout, this is the perfect time for that to happen, because with 4-on-4 play, it's going to open up the ice a little bit more. It might make it a little easier, because a lot of this game, second half of this game, has been up against the boards. So for them to have more opportunities to find teammates in the open ice, I mean, we've seen it in the NHL with the 3-on-3 overtime, how many quality opportunities you can create with that open space. So we'll see if they can draw up a play here with the timeout.
And you make a very, very fine point with a lot of play being along the boards. And that also, I'll say a contributing factor to that is probably due to no ice cuts between the periods. So with a ton of snow built up, it's not as if those pucks will bounce off the boards and go very far away from them.
Well, it's definitely going to be harder for them to stick handle as well with the build-up on the ice. So who knows? You could see a defensive mistake here that could create a break. We'll have to see what happens.
No doubt about it. That's why we're bringing you this game live on Black Dog Enterprises, as it seems as if the Rough Riders have won the draw and they're going to try to get their offense established early. They throw a puck deep into the zone, and here comes a breakaway attempt the other way. Flying towards the net is Stoppler. Stoppler stops on a dime, and she scores! A little forehand, backhand deke, and that could do it here. Kendall Newberry got faked out of her skates, and now with the score 3-1, looks like the Surrey Falcons should be able to take this one home, or this game home, with a win. Though there's still 4:26 left on the clock.
Yep. Well, that's the insurance that they're looking for. You're right about that. Obviously, it's not over for another 4.5 minutes, but that will definitely put them at ease, not make them so nervy back there defensively.
Sandhu is the one who came away as opposed to Sindhu with the assist, but here's Sindhu. Opportunities still forthcoming for the Surrey Falcons. Sindhu with a shot. Newberry makes the glove save as it's knocked down in front of her. So we've got just 45 seconds or so remaining on the 4-on-4. Hustling up the near boards is Talagani. Talagani tries to wind her way behind the net. Tessa Younger there to stop her, and that's really been the theme of this matchup between those two players. Younger stopping her every single time. And something you pointed out earlier, a lot of stretch ice passes from the Surrey Falcons, and it paid off that time during the 4-on-4.
Yeah, well, that had to be the play that they drew up. You saw her kind of, trying to poach one, sitting there in the neutral zone as the puck was over on our left-hand side.
That seemed like the case. So good work by head coach Boyd Stopler, as we're going to have a stoppage in play now, which gives the Lady Rough Riders an opportunity to get all 5 of their players on the ice that they'd like, and hopefully get their power play started and then ending quickly.
Yep, this is a vital 32 seconds for the Rough Riders. Give them a chance to make it a 1-goal game here.
That puck is drawn, sticks tied up right at the face-off dot. And breaking out of the zone are the Colorado Lady Rough Riders. Bringing it forward very nicely for them. I'll have to check out who that was real quick. But either way, the Falcons will clear the puck all the way down the zone. And going back there to retrieve it are the Rough Riders. They're going to have to get their, I guess, not affairs per se, but themselves in order. Things have not been going so right for them so far.
Yeah, well, they've been beaten on the boards quite frequently this period. They've been second to the puck, is what I'm saying.
I could believe that.
Oh.
As this puck will fly into the Colorado bench. That does not sound like fun.
Coach didn't even flinch.
Wow. That's impressive. I know, I'd be dip, duck, dive, ducking.
And dodging.
And dodging. Can't forget that second dodge, of course. So Paige Ashbell, who was initially listed as jersey number 3, she's wearing 5 out there, and the puck comes her way. And now Sidhu with an opportunity. She's still trying to get a goal. Obviously, that's what she wants, as the power play is now over. We're back to even strength. A couple opportunities forward towards the net, and they're going to blow the whistle down. Can't tell if Newberry actually had the puck.
Looked like the referee lost sight of it.
Because eventually it did wind up past that red line and into the net, but the whistle certainly was blown before it got back there. Wasn't as if that whistle was blown well after it was in the net. Certainly would have heard a lot more complaints. At least I'd have to imagine so. Once again, a draw is won by the Surrey Falcons, and they are really going to just try to set up their offense here. With under 2 minutes to play, you have to wonder if Colorado can get the puck out of their own zone. Will they pull the goalie, and if so, how soon? It's
going to have to happen now or never.
Well, it can't happen while the shots are still flying towards the net. Stopler with the shot. Yeah, of course. Stopler with the shot. It's a glove save made. Easily, in fact, by Newberry. Erica Spieth trying to tell her players returning to the bench, it's all right, we're going to figure something out here. But with just $1:40 remaining on the clock, that is not the easiest thing to do. There's a pass. Sidhu losing that puck up in her midsection. Had it not popped up there, I think she would have had an excellent chance to pop that one on net. I'm just going to say pop a lot, apparently. Melissa Linville trying to chase that puck down. She can't get to it first for Colorado. And with 1:20 left in this game, still remaining in the net is Newberry after Huska makes a nice save on her side of the ice. Now skating towards the bench is Newberry, and I think we're going to see 6 skaters at least out there. for Colorado. And this is where you have to make a really hard decision. They say you shouldn't remove a goalie on a face-off draw. You don't know who's going to come away with the puck. You want to have your goalie leave the net.
Yeah, but you got to gamble at this point with
no
only
doubt.
79 seconds remaining.
Oh, no doubt at all. So, no time to be cautious, as they did win the draw, was Colorado, but now the Falcons will be happy to tie everyone up. As you mentioned during the 4-on-4, lots of open ice space, but here with 6-on-5, not so much, as the shot put onto Hesko was knocked down. She thought she had it in her glove for a moment, but it was cleared away by a Falcon player, and now the puck is down on the other side of the ice. Will there be an opportunity to score an empty net goal? We'll find out as play finally leaves the corner that is, and Ashbell pushes it forward. Ashbell, the lone goal scorer for Colorado. She finds a teammate, and finding the ice is a player there for Surrey. Looked like Amos Shepard hitting the deck. That puck will come down to the half boards. Talagani has it now. She's going to try a centering pass, and then jumping on top of the puck is Kiana Heska. We've got 18.4 left here in this matchup. Ooh, excuse me. Not saying you can close the books on this one. You never know. You want a face-off draw and slap it into the net.